Welcome to episode 48 of Your Mindset Matters. And I'm really excited to go into today's topic because it's all about who you are. And I'm going to take you back a little bit to the start of my journey and what really helped me in my journey. Okay, so my journey all began around 6 years ago. So I am 26 now. So that was when I was 20 and 21. And I want to say that throughout my journey and throughout them 6 years, I have truly started to become who I am. Okay. And probably for the first 20 years, 21 years, I was trying to be somebody else. I didn't know who I was. And do I know who I truly am right now? Probably not to the full potential that I could, right? But I know I'm on the right path and I'm really excited for that because obviously the episode before this one was chapter 26, telling you that it brought up a lot for me, okay? Turning 26 brought up a lot for me on looking at my life and who I am. And I feel like I am going into even more depth of knowing myself. And I have been for the past probably last year, and I feel like this year it's just going to go even more. So I'm excited to get uncomfortable and make the uncomfortable comfortable in that, but it can also be uncomfortable, right? And it can also be a little bit scary and things. But the whole point for me is life is becoming who you're here to be. And when I mean who you're here to be, I mean who you are here to be and who you want to be, not who other people want you to be, not who society tell you to be. Because for them, probably 20 to 21 years, I was trying to be who everyone else wanted me to be. Okay, I have literally just had then like little thoughts of things that people would say to me and how I would try and shift and change to be that for other people, because I craved love and I craved feeling good enough that much that I was willing and I allowed myself to be somebody to hopefully gain that from others. Okay, I say this so much about my stories that I didn't truly know that I was good enough. And it's probably only over the last 6 years that I've truly learned that about myself. And these last 6 years and for the years rest of this lifetime that I have, don't know how many I've got left, are all going to be about that, right? It's truly standing in who I'm here to be, truly becoming and being more me, whilst allowing me to grow and change. Because I want you to know that who I was 6 years ago is not who I am today. Who I was yesterday is probably not who I am today. And I'm grateful for that. And I know in 6 years' time, I'm going to be looking back at this moment like, oh my goodness, like I was there, I was her. And now I'm obviously going to have grown in things, right? Because for me, life is a journey of discovering who you truly are and your true self. And knowing that that version and that person and who you are is allowed to grow, it is allowed to change. And lately, over the past couple of months, from one of my amazing friends, she told me about a book called Code Red, and I actually did a live video on my Instagram about it. It's basically a book for women on their menstrual cycle, right? It's about your periods. And this is another layer that I have been going in with myself, because for years I used to think like, period, nobody really wants that, can't wait for my period to come and go. But now reading that book and having more of a knowledge and having a different perspective on it, and I literally just listened to a podcast on the way home today of saying that when you have your period, you basically, like, a version of you kind of dies, okay? Like part of you dies and you reborn, right? All of the stuff like from last month that you didn't really want to hold on to, it dies and you become like a new person, right? You're reborn. And what I feel like society and people around us, and what I really hear is that like, that's just who I am, okay? But I want to challenge that and go, is that who you are? Or is that who society has made you think you are? Society has made you feel like you have to be like that. Because who you are right now, 95% of the time, you're actually living in your unconscious mind, right? Unconscious mind means you're not really aware of it. And that was created when you were a child from 0 to 7 years old, where you took on beliefs from your parents, from caregivers, from people around you, from friends, where that sort of time has shaped who you are today. And we get a choice to either step into who we're here to be, and while doing that, it means unlearning and letting go and allowing parts of you to die, okay? And what I mean by that is parts of you and beliefs and things that are no longer serving you, okay? For example, looking back at myself at 21 years old, 20 years old, right? What I wanted at that moment is not what I want now, okay? Because I have grown, I have changed, I have achieved what it is that I wanted to achieve, okay? But it's about knowing that that part of me, for example, the one who wanted to go get drunk all the time, the one that wanted to go to nightclubs and party, isn't a part of me anymore, right? I enjoy staying in, I enjoy practices that are like healing, that are going to allow me to grow. I don't really drink, right? And that part of me served me when I was 21, 20. It served me then, right? That was part of my journey then, but it's no longer part of my journey now, okay? And it's about me allowing that version of me, for me to be able to let go of that. And being my kind of age and being around sort of like society at this age, you're meant to probably be going out and drinking, right, still. But it's about knowing yourself and having the confidence, and also I want to say self-love, to love yourself enough to follow what it is that you want, okay, and be who you're here to be, instead of who everyone tells you to be, instead of this pressure that we put on ourselves. And I'm not blaming society and I'm not blaming other people, because actually we choose to accept that, we choose to take that on as our beliefs, and we allow it. But when you become more aware and when you step more into your conscious mind, okay, and you start to change that 5% of your conscious mind to a higher percentage and move out of your unconscious mind, that's when you're able to have that self-awareness, to start to look and go and take a step back and go, does this serve me? Is this serving me right now? And having that love, that confidence, that worth, whatever you want to call it or feel about it, to say to yourself, no, that's no longer serving me. I am ready to let that go. But on that, it also starts with having that awareness and that allowing with yourself to start to look at yourself in a light that shows you your true self, okay? And I want you to know that you may not like your true self, okay? You may not like parts. You may love it. You may love parts, right? But it's about going in and looking at your true self with no judgment, not being hard on her, not blaming her or him, just being open and going, okay, this is who I am right now. Is this who I want to be? Is this actually my true self? Okay, because who we see we are sometimes is probably sometimes better than who we actually are, okay? And please take that as lightly as you can, okay? I'm not saying that you think you're better than you are at all, but what I'm saying sometimes is we can go either way. We can either think we're really better than we are, or we can think we're really worse than we are, okay? We can be so hard on ourselves. But it's about taking that big mental step back and being able to look at yourself and just ask the question with no judgment of, who am I? Who am I truly? And having that love to have the answers and receive the answers, okay? Because like I said, the things that you may not like, you may have learned that from childhood. And that's just a story that you have been unconsciously telling yourself over and over again that isn't actually yours. And it's probably time to let that go. And that's when it's allowing yourself to let things go, allowing yourself to heal and release. And just like a period every single month, allowing that part of you to die and for you to be reborn. You don't have to stay the same. This saying of like, it's just who I am. Just who you are. If it's serving you, amazing. But if it's not, is that who you want to be? Is that something you want to hold on to? Or are you ready to let that go? Okay? Because the truth is, you get more of who you are. Who you truly are and who you're truly being. You get more of that. And how you can sort of see this is look into your reality. Because the reality and the life that you are living was created because of you. It was created for you and from you. And this is something that really, truly changed my whole mindset, my perception on things. Them years ago, so around 6 years ago, I was told that life happens for us. But for the past 20 years, I had been living and thinking and believing that life was happening to me. And I was a victim to my life, thinking, oh, why does this always happen to me? Oh, this never happens to me. And all of this stuff, right? Because I was telling myself that life was happening to me. And that's a lie. That is a lie. Life isn't happening to you. Life is happening for you. Life is happening for us. Okay? And what do I mean by that? Because sometimes we hear that saying like, life's happening for us. And it's like, yeah, life's happening for us. But then we still can continue to choose the mindset of life happened to us and we're this victim, right? And that things that are happening in our life, we didn't create it. We had nothing to do with it. We just have to put up with it. No, life happens for you, okay? And there's two sort of parts of this that I want to go into. So the first one is life is happening for you is the fact that it's allowing you to become more of who you're here to be, okay? It's where life is happening for you in a way to guide you to get to where it is that you want, to be who it is that you want. And with this, some things may happen that look, from probably a human perspective, awful, upsetting, shit, rubbish, oh my goodness, that saying of why is this happening to me? Or it feels like the worst thing that you're going through, right? And I get it, I'm here for you, I see you. But I want you to know that even the hardest times that we go through are happening for us. There's a lesson that you get to learn during that moment. There is something that you are growing from. There's something that you are being taught, okay? There is a lesson in that. There is a pattern that you are able to let go of. And also, going even deeper in that, it's allowing you to see the strength of who you are, okay? Because you're never given anything that you cannot handle. Anything that you are going through in your life, you can handle it. There is a reality out there right now where you have already gone past it, you have completed it, and you're living the life that it is that you want. Okay, so anything that life comes into your life for you, you can handle it. Okay, so remind yourself in that moment, like, this may seem shit right now, but I know that in some reality that I can handle this. In this reality right now, I can handle this. I may not know how, and I may not know why I'm going through this right now in this moment, but I can handle it. And the why we're going through something, at the start of my journey, it used to happen normally after. I'd be like, why did I even go through that? And then when you ask the question, you receive the answer. And then I would be like, oh, I went through that because I learned this, because I became more of myself, because I was able to show myself that I can handle it. I was able to release an old pattern or whatever the thing was. But now I have grown through my journey and I've got a lot better and got a better self-awareness. I'm able to now see during it, I'm like, why am I going through this? This is why I'm going through it. Okay, this is why. So I can use this to help me get out of it and get through it and get past this hurdle. Okay? So life is happening for you to allow you to grow and learn the lessons from it. So anytime that you're going through something, good or bad or indifferent, ask, what is this teaching me? What am I meant to learn from this? And why am I going through this? Okay, because there's a reason why. because it's happening for you. Okay, so that's what one side of it was, that life is happening for us, that things that we're going through, there's a reason why we're going through it. And another side of life happening for us is that our reality shows us that, okay? Our reality shows us that it's responding from who we are on an unconscious level, on that deeper level of how you're truly thinking, how you're truly feeling, and your beliefs, okay? So life is responding to who you are. And what I mean by that is your life that you've gone through, been through, you created that. And I want you to see this as empowering, okay? As if I've created things, I can create what it is that I want, okay? And it all starts and stems from who you are and who you're being, okay? You get more of who you are. This is the one lesson, the one pinnacle thing that is probably the most important that people choose not to take responsibility from. They choose not to be aware of it. That life is responding to who we are. So if we want more of something, then we get to be that. We get to truly think and feel that, okay? It all starts with you and who you are. If you want your reality shift, it all starts with you shifting first, okay? Because life isn't happening to you. Life is happening for you, right? And it's about the truth of who you are and the truth around the beliefs in certain areas and certain things, okay? Because, for example, what I mean by certain areas is, so you have like obviously your work, your business, finances, relationship with yourself, your health. There's all different sort of like, what would we call it? All different like areas, parts of our life, okay, that are all affected from us and who we're being. But we may think really good about something and that area really thrives, okay? That area you smash it in. But there's another area where we don't have beliefs that serve us and we doubt ourselves, we question ourselves, right? And we don't think really positive or believe that we can have it. So it might be money, for example, and that area isn't where we want it to be. So we can look at our reality to actually show us the truth of what we think and feel about things. It may be relationships, and this is the biggest one that I love to talk about, because for me it's the one that affects every single thing, right? You'll have people, even myself does this, right? I'm like, okay, how can I make more money? How can I grow my business, right? And it's the same answer. How do you truly think and feel about it? How are you showing up? How are you being in yourself about it? Because it starts with the relationship with yourself. The relationship with yourself is the most important relationship, okay? Because it's who you are. The relationship with yourself allows you to truly see who you are. It allows you to have that awareness of who you are. It allows you to be more of who you are. Okay, they're all affected for me. Self-worth, self-love, self-confidence, self-belief, they all go into one and they all affect each other, right? And our reality can show us how we're truly thinking and feeling in things, okay? Because it's responding to who we are. So we might think and tell ourselves that, oh yeah, I feel really good in this area, but your reality isn't matching that. Then it's about going even deeper with yourself. Like I said, we want to get deep with ourselves. The relationship with yourself is that most important one, because who you are is a reflection of what you receive. And also who you are and how you feel about yourself goes into your happiness, right? And for me, this is something that me and my partner always have. He's very money motivated, successful kind of thing, which I absolutely love. And yes, I'm money motivated, but I am more happiness and growth motivated, right? I'm more about being my best self, more about the relationship with myself, more about the happiness, okay? And that's what for me it's truly about, is that relationship with yourself goes into every area and aspect of your life. but it's the one I see most people neglect and avoid even going into, right? We like to just tell ourselves positive things, which is great. And yes, it is so important to see the positive and see the good for that to then become your reality and sort of shift your mindset into that. But you get more of who you truly are. So it's about looking at the truth. And like I said near the start of this podcast, is having no judgment with yourself, okay? Because if you want to attract your partner, your soul partner, and have that love from them, or you're in a relationship right now and you want more love from your partner, if you're not giving yourself that love, then how do you expect them to give you that? Because how you're treating yourself, how you're being with yourself, how you are with yourself sets the tone, right? And this is something that really changed my life in relationship forms. So I didn't love myself 6 years ago, right? I went through a really, really hard breakup, and I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about, I think, a death in the family happened for them, and that's what awakened their spiritual journey. That's what allowed them to shift and everything like that because of that awakening. And I thought back to my journey and I was like, what happened for me to truly shift, right? I got into mindset because I started a network marketing business, and I'm so grateful for that because it opened the door to my mindset. But what truly sort of accelerated it and allowed me to get deeper with myself was a breakup that I went through. Probably the hardest breakup that I've been through. Hopefully I don't have another one. But the hardest breakup that I went through, right? I truly lost myself. I truly lost that self-love for myself, my self-worth. I was very insecure. I questioned myself. I generally thought, because that guy wasn't in my life, okay, nothing, right? I just felt just so empty in myself and so hard on myself. I was like, what are you going to do with your life now? You've got no purpose. You don't love yourself. What are you going to do? And what I realized and what I learned from that is that I didn't have that self-love for myself. So I would constantly be questioning if they actually loved me, because I couldn't love myself, right? The insecurities that we're putting out and having with others is because of how we feel about ourselves, right? I was questioning if they loved me and believing them if they loved me, right? Because I couldn't believe myself when I was like, I love you, I like you. So what I have done over the past 6 years is worked on that. I've gone in deeper with that of why didn't I feel like I was worthy of love? Why couldn't I love myself? Why was I being so hard on myself? Where did this all come from? And like I said, 95% of the time, you are thinking with your unconscious mind, and mine stemmed from that. From 0 to 7, something happened in my childhood, and that's what created that story that I was unlovable, that I wasn't worthy, that I wasn't good enough. And basically this bullshit story that wasn't serving me. And I was able to go, this is no longer serving me. I'm no longer wanting to feel like this. Because like I said, it's about feeling happy and good in yourself. But because I was choosing that story over and over again in my unconscious mind, I wasn't happy in myself. I wasn't living the happiness, the full potential kind of life that I could be living, right? And it's about being able to be honest with yourself and not judging that version of me that chose that, right? Who allowed that to plan out. In that time, also looking back to me, I was like, why is this happening to me? Life is happening to me. But no, life was happening for me because that breakup allowed me to go in deeper with myself. It allowed me to learn to love myself. Okay, so I'm grateful for it. As awful as it was and as hard as it was, I am grateful for it looking back. And I can actually say thank you to the person. Obviously I haven't, because we don't talk. But I can say energetically, thank you for that. I forgive you. I loved you at the time. I'm grateful for that time because life showed me that it was about learning to love myself. And on doing that, learning to love myself and truly feeling that and thinking that, instead of yeah, I love myself, it's yeah, I truly love myself, to the point now where I can look in the mirror, physically looking a bit like I've just got out of bed, oh my goodness, but I honestly look into my eyes and I look into like my soul and I'm like, I love you, girl, right? To me, it's not about the looks, it's about the deeper version, that deeper self-love with your mind, body and soul, okay, right? There's that surface level of liking the way that we look, but there's that deeper level of liking who you are. And you can have self-love with yourself and also not like parts of you, right? And want parts of you to change. And like I said, I'm on a deeper healing journey of like figuring out things that are no longer serving me. And I love it because it's so empowering to be like, I can actually release that. I can actually allow that part to go and be who I'm here to be. Because we were born worthy. We were born good enough. We were born whole. Okay? But things that we go through and things that we take on might take them true beliefs and true feelings away from us. And it's about getting back to that. It's about getting back to being who you truly are and becoming more of the version of you that you're here to be. That pure version of you, that whole version of you, the one that knows they're good enough and they're worthy, right? And they truly feel that on a body, mind and soul level, okay? And just going back to that story quickly, from working on that relationship with myself and having that true love for myself, I was able to attract in a partner who matched me at that energy, okay? Because who you're being, also on an energetic level, you're attracting that in. So whatever energetic frequency you are vibrating on of who you truly are, you're going to attract that back. So when I was on that low frequency of not loving myself, that's what I was attracting, right? I was attracting like guys who didn't take it seriously, like people who I probably didn't want to be with, basically not my soulmate, okay? But when I did that inner work, found that self-love for myself, I was able to attract in what I would like to say today, because we don't know the future, today is my soulmate, okay? And someone that I've been able to grow and love and become the best version of myself throughout these 5 years in July together, right? Because I took that time to learn to love myself. I took that time to figure out who I was, and I'm still figuring that out because it's a lifelong journey. Like I said at the start, you're here to grow, evolve and blossom, right? You're not here to stay the same and constantly be like, it's just who I am, okay? For me, I love people who want to grow and become more of themselves at all of their versions, at all of their levels and to their truest potential, okay? Not personally the people who want to stay the same and stay in that repetitive same over and over again, right? But that's just me, okay? But yeah, having that relationship with yourself is key. Prioritizing that relationship with yourself is vital and key in my personal opinion and personal experience, okay? That's just one example of how that breakup truly triggered the self-love in me, allowed me to go into that, allowed me to heal them stories, allowed me to rewrite them and then attract in my ideal partner, okay? At that frequency that I was at, one who loves themselves too, so we can both love ourselves and love each other. Because I know that, for example, if things crop up in our relationship right now, I know I can look and go, am I truly loving myself right now? Because that's probably why we have got, for example, issues if we have them in the moment. It's about looking at yourself and reflecting back, like if you're not really receiving that love, for example, in your relationship right now, ask yourself, am I giving myself that love? Because how you're treating yourself is kind of the standard that you set for other people on like an energetic level, okay? So if you want more love from others, start giving it yourself, right? If you want to be a priority in someone else's life, start asking yourself, am I being a priority in my life? Am I giving myself time to be what it is that I want to be, to do what it is that is important to me right now, what I value, okay? Because your life is a reflection of who you're being, the standards that you're setting with yourself, okay? So being more of who you are is going to attract more of that. But it gets even deeper of that, like, do you like who you are? What parts do you like? What parts are you ready to let go of? Okay? And you can become who you're here to be. And it's about having no judgment on that. Okay? So I hope this has added value to you, and I hope that you can take something away from this. And I'm excited to go deeper together and dive in deeper, right? Because if you want more in your life, give more to yourself in each area. That self-love, that self-worth. Start to see yourself. If you're not being seen by others, see yourself first. Take everybody out of the equation and look at how you're being with yourself, how you're treating, how you're thinking, feeling, and believing about yourself. Okay? So if you want to go deeper after this podcast, right? Go and take some time out to be with yourself. Go and take some time to be on your own and ask yourself some questions. Who am I? What is it that I like? What is it that I don't like? Who do I want to be? Okay? Because you can be them. And ultimately, who you want to be is who you already are, but you're just not allowing yourself to be that. Okay? So if you truly want the results that you want, go and take some time out after this podcast to truly be on your own and take that reflection time to look at how you're treating yourself. Because just to end on, life is happening for you, okay? If you're telling yourself that life is happening to you, and I'm going to do a whole podcast on this. I've just had the download. Next week's podcast is going to be on like victim mode and things, because I was in that for a long time. But yeah, life is happening for you, right? You are the creator of your reality. Allow that to empower you. And look to your reality, because that is the truth of how you're truly thinking and feeling about things. And if you are ready to go even deeper and you'd like some support on that, then message me and we can work together on a one-to-one level using who you are, using your human design, theta healing, where we can go directly into that unconscious mind that you're thinking with 95% of the time. We can go into that. We can go into who you truly are, what you're truly thinking and feeling, right? We can basically cut the bullshit and go straight to the root of it. And we can allow you to heal and release that and to become more of who you are, okay? And also all the knowledge that I have known and grown and constantly knowing over the years. But for me, it's about being more of who you are, and that's what I help you do, right? I'm not going to tell you how to be or who to be, because you already know the answers. And that's another thing that I've learned over my journey, is that I know the answers for my life. I know the answers that's for my way. And sometimes it's about stop listening to others and consuming things from others on what we think is going to help us, and truly asking ourselves, what do we need right now? What's going to help me right now? And start looking inwards. And that's what I help you do, okay? Is be that support to help you become more you. So thank you so much for listening to today's episode, and I will see you in the next one.